Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Medieval Dynasty, shall we? So, we have one house built, and we're working on a second and a well, and we've also plotted in our first construction facility, or production facility I should say. But we need a lot of wood to get this going. So when you're looking to get logs, you have a couple of options. First of all, you just cut down the trees that are closest to you. And we do have some nice trees here. But you might want to keep those for decoration, if you like, in your settlement. Remember, you can now plant trees, but I think they take a little bit to grow. Or you can go into town and buy logs, and there's, a resource person in town who has just general goods, and you can purchase them. And I actually do this sometimes. We've leveled up survival by picking up stones. Remember, by doing certain tasks, you're leveling up the skills associated with those tasks. So let's go ahead and spend that point. So there's a resource vendor in town, and I will buy logs or straw or things that take a while to get sometimes, because they're actually not that expensive. With logs, the issue is just carrying, but if you have full carry capacity like we do, you can just buy a bunch of logs and come back and, build some stuff. So let us go here, and we can now go to the second tier, and once you have the second tier on the tree, the second kind of row up, get survival sense, because it allows you in inspector mode to see stones, mushrooms, feathers, herbs, and sticks. So we're going to get this, and I'll show you. Now, when I hold left bumper, you see how all the stones and herbs glow and become obvious, so you can find things a lot easier when you're looking for specific resources. The other option you have is to just go nearby and get logs, which is what we're going to do. Now remember that these spruce trees give more logs than the birch trees, so we want to prioritize those. We are dirty. Oh, there's a dead horse down there. Goodness gracious. So we can go loot that tragic wagon accident. Oh, and we've leveled up extraction. Fantastic. And we did that, of course, by chopping down trees. And here's our other log. Yeah, and by accident, I mean bandits. That's pretty much everything here. Ooh, these are copper spears. So go ahead and take these. These aren't very good durability, but they do more damage. Oh, here's a free copper axe, too. Bad durability, but still, take it. Looks like the bandits appropriately looted the chest, sadly. There are some poisoned arrows in here if you wanted to pick those up, but unfortunately, they took the good stuff. So I'll get these arrows. We might want these later if we're trying to level up hunting. And there, at least in the first map, there are some quests to kill some rather large animals, and you definitely want some strong ranged weapons for that. Alright, I'll go ahead and get my shovel. And we're already up to 4 logs, and I'll get my axe. So you can see we're getting thirsty. Let's just drink. This will not clean us. It gets our feet clean, but you need to really be submerged at least to like waist level, if not more, to get that cleaning effect from the water. Okay. There's more logs, and I'll just continue taking down these spruces that are by this river here. Oh, you know what? Here I am going wild, but I forgot we got a skill point, and we got a skill point in extraction. And now, at second level, oh no, we haven't earned a point here yet, so Durability loss to axes is pretty good, but I always want experience first. Okay. And we've made a bridge. Now don't roll too far away, logs. I am pretty sure, like, that the logs, when they're rolling after you've cut the tree down, I don't think those do damage to you. I think you can just stop them and you won't get hurt. Again, I could be wrong, but that's just what I believe I've observed in my experience. I might have just been lucky. Alright, we'll go shovel. Excelente. There we go. Okay, so a little bit of work there, and let's just get out our hammer and see where we're at. I want to finish one thing at a time, if I can. Oh, there's a little baby deer. Okay. There we go. Got a lot of that in. That's done. Now it's actually an issue about straw for this house, which is typical early game. There we go. Okay, so we put in all the logs that we have, and this house is done on logs. Let's see what this wants. Alright, we need a few more logs for this well. So if we want to finish the house, well, we know that down by the water there's a bunch of straw. And, you know, we do have water. Oh, I got another survival skill point. Great. So we can even take a third level now, because every time you take a point in a tier, you get to move up. So we could go Survivalist, Headstrong, or Faster Movement in Water. Survivalist is cool because it just means you consume less food and water. Makes everything... I like this because it just means you have to eat and drink less. Now you can see we're already hungry, for example. And food is expensive until we get some hunting going. I'm going to eat up. There we go. So on our map, you could see that there is a little stream, but the stream is probably not substantial enough to get the water that we're, you know, the nice deep water with the wide bank that we're looking for to have straw growing. So I'm going to run down here, and we're discovering animals all over the place. We might be able to clean ourselves up in this water too if it's deep enough. At the bottom of the riverbed, there's also some, you know, really big trees that we can cut down to get some more logs. There it goes. Kind of. And just make sure you target the tree. And then there we go. Don't try to masquerade as a tree and hide. We know where you are. Oop, there is a free cart. Okay, we got some beer and some apples. Take it all. Also, they had some stones. Somebody was over here. Oh, limestone. Somebody was over here mining, and there's a pick. Yeah, bronze pickaxe. Free one. Great. So they had packed themselves up for a nice day of mining, and were probably killed on the job. And let's see if this is going to be deep enough to clean us up. Not really. Unfortunately, the waterfall does not do it either. Always check these waterfalls, though, for, like, hidden caves that smugglers might want to be using. Alright, but anyway, here's our straw. So let's get as much as we can. I just like to hold down A and just move around, and as soon as it stops saying read and says water, I just move again. Just holding A. Moving will disturb the gathering, and it takes a while to gather that water. So you can see we already have 27 straw, which is pretty good, but we need a lot. We need a lot for the roof for the well, the roof for all of the buildings that we're creating right now. Soon we'll be able to make plank roof, which just will save us time from having to gather a lot of straw, but then you still need a lot of wood. So it's just kind of a different pressure point, but the wooden plank roof is a better insulator for keeping warm than the straw roof. Alright, and you see we're already up to nearly 100 straw. So just finding a big patch of this stuff, it's not too bad. And of course we're leveling up. Here we go, look. We unlocked the hunting lodge by doing this. And now we're talking. The hunting lodge is the real station that we're looking for to start having people move in and automating things for us. So the hunter can just go out and get food. Among other things, which we can use to survive with. Okay, great. Do I want any more straw? Probably. I'm here. Why not? Alright, there we go. There it is. So just a nice day by the water, and we've almost got 200 straw. And a hunting lodge. There we go. Okay, I'm going to say that's good enough, and let's just see if this water gets deep. Ooh, it almost got there. It's not going to work, though. Try to crouch down, make it deeper. The game is not fooled. And there's even some straw on the other bank. Okay. Hey, this is one of the things I really, really love about this game. Look up there. What's that? That's our village. Just seen from down below. It looks amazing. Let's get some more. Oops. I didn't mean to de-equip. Let's get some more wood. You can see this axe is about to break. In the bottom right, you have the durability of this axe. The wheel is yellowish, getting down to the very end of its life cycle, but it's served us well. Hey-o. And we'll just dig up these stumps. Okay. So I'm going to set it up so that what we have, just to kind of move along, you can do this at whatever pace you wish in terms of starting to get people in your settlement. But what we're going to do is begin by recruiting a hunter so that we can have food for ourselves and our people. Because feeding ourselves, if that's hard, imagine trying to feed a bunch of people as well. It gets worse. We're going to go ahead and dig that up. So we need to have a regular food supply. Okay. So I'm going to get out my hammer. I'm going to go to this hut right here and just finish the roof. Bam. 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 Done. Okay. So now we have a house that's done. And let's finish. We were making a workshop, which is okay, but I actually don't care about finishing that right now. It's okay. But instead, what we want to do is make sure that we get in a hunting lodge. And, oops, the hunting lodge goes over here in survival. And let's just build this. You could build it wherever you want. They'll just wander off and go hunting. And so I'm going to kind of put it, you know, over here like so. There you go. And we'll just bang in as much of this as we can. Looks amazing. Oh, we're out of logs. Okay. So I'm going to put in everything else that's not logs. You can see how quickly you go through logs. We do have the sticks, though, and the straw. So now it's just an issue of some logs, and no problem. We'll get that. Same thing for the well. Now, here's another cool thing you could do. You can go to build, and you could select road. And we could just build gravel roads. These take nothing, but it allows you to kind of block in just a little bit of like the idea of how your village will operate. So I like to just build roads. You see now we have a road that goes from my house to the well, and then we can continue this and just have this road go over here to the workshop. And then if we want, you could start it again and start it over here and just kind of have it go like so around this and there so that it gets to the hunting lodge. And then now you don't have to build roads at all, by the way. I like that it looks like people are kind of walking around, and it gives you a feel for like where you might want to build other things along the road. And we'll just build a road that connects to the main road kind of right there. Perfect. All right, so now we have some roads, and we need some logs. So we'll just run over here and begin getting some logs. And now we can build the woodshed. Just as we build, as we collect, we get more technology. And the woodshed is our production facility so that we can, you guessed it, have a villager just go out and collect logs for us. It's super useful to just have a nice, steady supply of logs come in. Now, they don't produce enough logs, really, you know, to make a huge difference, but it's still helpful. They can also turn logs into planks for you. And we're going to want all of it. Now, this is a birch tree, so not as good. And these are all birch, so we probably want to move out of this little enclosure. But I think that this will be enough for me to finish what we've got going. Which is the hunting lodge. By the way, you can do this outside the house as long as you can get it targeted. we go. Or the building, I should say. And then there we go. And it's done. So now we have a hunting lodge done. And we have 2 houses done. And let's just go ahead and try to finish this well, if possible. Needs more logs. And there's a bunch of trees right here. I don't know how many of these we actually want. We probably want to start clearing these out to make room for other houses. Because, remember, if we want... What I'd like to get, you know, is a... And it's hit the house. My God. It's okay. I'd like to get somebody who is a hunter and somebody who is collecting wood. You could put somebody on the well to distribute water, but I find that it's not super necessary early because it's pretty easy to do the water yourself. It takes them a while to go through it. Now, my axe broke, but you'll notice I automatically switched to the next axe. This tree, rather, is being caught up in... And they're kind of all caught together. So you can just hit this. Yay! And then there they go. Alright. Excellent. Okay. So, there we go. Stump. 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 And now we have a good amount of logs. And I'm going to finish this part. And then it just needs a little bit of straw. And our well is done. And now you can actually stand here. And if you get close to the well, you can drink from it. Just hold down A. And you can also craft buckets of water. So if you have an empty bucket, you can fill it up like so. You can also fill up water skins. All right, excellent. Now, I would like to build a extraction woodshed and just have somebody who gets wood. Now, similar to the hunter, they go off and they get it. As far as I recall, or as far as I know, they don't actually need to have, like, physical trees nearby. They just kind of do it. So, I'm going to put this as close... I'll leave a little bit of space in between, I guess, to the road we've got there. Then we'll gotta get our hammer out, and we'll start laying this up. And it needs, well, not that much, right? Just some logs. And it's done. So now we have this done. Let me go ahead and build the road. Continue it from the front of this over here, just to make it look like people live here. And then we could build the workshop later. But what I'd like to do is run to town, and I'm going to go to my map, and we're going to remove this marker. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to remove the waypoint. And I'm going to zoom out, and I'm just going to put a marker on Piastova, and we kind of want it, you know, and it's fine, but we want it around the outside of the town to look for the people who... Oh, I'm going to quick save it just in case. It's always a good idea to quick save it when you're going to run, especially at night, in case you get mauled by wolves or something like that. So let's just run, but be a little bit responsible. I'm going to look for a husband and wife team. And here's what I mean by that. A man and a woman. Because even if they don't want to be a husband and wife, there's a badger running by. If we put them in the same house, they will become that. Now, the reason I'm looking for that is, well, yeah, I mean, reproducing and growing the village is great. But right now, I just want 2 laborers. And I can't hire 2 women or 2 men because they won't live in the same house. It's just the rules of the game. Ooh, somebody's wagon busted right here, and there's a bunch of logs, and there's mead, and this is beautiful. We really profit from tragedy. So I'm just trying to make it show you all how you could start growing and where you should begin. We want a hunter to collect meat, and we want, what's this? Oh, that's just the marker of the town, okay. And we want a woodcutter. And then we could get somebody on the workshop. We can get somebody collecting stone. We can do all sorts of cool stuff. This is the wagon, by the way. You could pay this guy to give you a ride to the towns. It's incredibly expensive. So I pretty much never do it. I think... Let me go this way. I think there's 2 laborer camps, but it's hard to see in the wee hours. Yeah, it's just too dark. Anyway, we're going to go over here. Oh, they've got it fenced. They're like, you ain't coming in, buddy. By the way, you can't take their crops and stuff. So you can't just steal from them. You see the laborers on your map. The little people icons on the compass in the top center. And this is where they live. And this kind of like, they don't have a house. They're looking for a place to settle. So... Before you, there's Ludwika right here, and then there's actually a good assortment. So you can hold inspector mode to see what people are good at. So what are you good at? She's good at hunting. She's a 3. And what is this guy? He's also good at hunting. That guy stinks. And she's good at survival. Okay, so what we want are extraction and hunting. So she's actually good at extraction. She could be our woodcutter, and then he can be the hunter. So we're gonna say, hey, buddy, I'm looking for people to join me.
I hope our king is going to reign as long as possible.
So great to see you there. And it now tells us about houses. It says you can accommodate every newcomer in a house of your choosing. Keep in mind that only man and woman can be grouped together in a house, which in consequence will result in having them having children over time. So I hope you like the look of the man. Now this is a woman, so I could romance her. You can also talk to them and see if they know about anything interesting going on or where a certain shop is. But what I want is her to work at our place. And now it's telling us about romancing and finding a spouse. Small talk is also something you can do to get more information about people. And we have 2 villagers, and you could see now in the upper left, it's telling you we have missing needs for these villagers. They need houses, they need food, they need water, and they need firewood. And it's our job to provide all of that for them. And we will. So we're going to push select, and now we can actually go to the management tab. And you can see here's our 2 people, Dobroslaw and Ludwika, and we can select Dobroslaw. And then on the right panel, once we have him selected, it goes to the house portion of this window in the middle, and empty slot, assign house. Click on that. And give him the simple small house. Now the condition is low. It might have actually been hurt by that tree, so we can repair it. So it says it holds 0 out of 3 people, but remember there are requirements. And we're going to give him the house. Excuse me. And we'll put him into that house, and then we're going to now we get to assign his workplace. And so look over on the left at what this guy is good at. This guy has a 3 in hunting. So all of the icons correspond to the different skills: extraction, hunting, farming, and then we've got survival, and we've got the handshake is like social, and then we have crafting. And we hired him to be a hunter, so we're going to select workplace, and we're going to say go to the hunting lodge. And it says slot selection, and you could put 2 people in the hunting lodge. I'm going to put 1 in there immediately. So now he has a job. He is hunting, and he has a house. So then we're going to push B. So this guy is there, and you see how it says skills in the right panel here? And hunting, the skill associated with his job is in green there, so we know, okay, good. This guy is good at that, and we're going to go back, and then we need to give Ludwika a house, and we're going to go empty slot, simple house, boom, and now she has a house, and then remember, we want her to work at the woodshed and become a lumberjack. Now, the woodshed can only hire one. We select this, and empty worker, and then there she is. And you can see extraction is the labor type she's doing as a lumberjack, and the number 3 in green on the right, that's her skill associated with her job. So now both of our villagers have been assigned a place to live and a job to do. Now that's the first step, but we have a lot more to do. We have to get them food, water, and firewood. And we have to go to their job and tell them what to do. So assigning just the job to them is not enough. We actually have to go to the workplace itself and start distributing the labor and telling them what we want them to do. Like, there's certain options. There's different jobs they can do in their workstations, and we will talk about that. So next episode, we're going to talk about getting them food, getting them firewood, getting them water so that they're satisfied. And we're going to talk about how to give them an actual job to do so that they can start producing goods for our settlement. We're going to need to build storage. We're going to need to continue growing, building houses and more production buildings. But we're really, really on our way. You could see we've got up to the woodshed. We've got to the resource storage. And once you unlock certain tiers on the technologies, you can, with money, you can see there's a price. You can buy things like barrels and chests to decorate, or fences or whatever you want. Right now, we're not going to buy anything, but it's good to know, like torches if we want to light the town up. Bird traps are quite good, and this is where you actually would want to spend money, so you can craft better spears, better bows, arrows, things like that. So it's not all just decorative. The workshop, if we buy the bucket recipe, we can now make our own buckets, for example, which are good for storing water for people in their homes. All right, everyone, you could see our villagers that we've recruited. They're happily walking to our town, and we're going to meet them there. We don't want to recruit anyone else because we don't have space for them. I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. I'll check you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.